Hi, in this video I'm gonna explain how we can create a listener token node in ROS2. First of all, we have to verify if we installed ROS2. So which ROS2 will give us this identification. Then we have to drive to ROS2 workspace. I created a workspace called Google Summer Coding workspace. In this workspace we will find this for files. We will drive into SRC. In SRC we will create our package. ROS2 packages create. The name of the package, for example, listener underscore toker. The type will type Ament Python, and then it is created. We will find two files. Temp, this one I created to test the workspace after Falcon build, and the listener toker file. So in the listener toker we will open Visual Studio Code where we will write our code. In this file we will create two files, listener.py and toker.py. The toker will be the publisher and listener will be the subscriber. I already write this before, so we can use these templates. So for the subscriber, which is the listener, here is that. And for the subscriber, and for the publisher, which is the toker. And here we go. I will go through each code. First of all, the imports. I imported RSLP for ROS2 and the node type, which is for the class, and finally the message type. We can use many message type, for example float 32 or float 64. Can use integer or any kind of data types. First of all, we will create a class. We can do that without class, but for more readability and more reliability, we will use classes for more inheritance and some stuff like that. So we will inherit from node class from RSLY, and then initialize this. We will give it a title, for example toker, and then get logger, which is printing hey, I'm starting talking, or talking is starting toker. And the toker will and then we will create a publisher from the attribute self. There are a function called create publisher, and the data type will be string, and the topic is conversation, and the queue size, which is the number of messages per buffer, is 10. We can create it, make it 5, or stuff. It would the more is little, the more is better, but 5 is the average. And then create a timer for calling. So each half second, this callback function will be created, and then it would be published. In this function, it will just make a calling function each time the timer is executed. This toker will be executed, then publish. The publish will just create a message. The message have a data element. This data element is hi, I'm speaking, and then would be published in the attribute self, the variable publish, which is the publisher. And finally the main function here, just initializing the ROS2, then creating the node, and then spinning like while loop, just executing the program each time, and finally shut down. And for the listener, it is the same. There are some importing, class, type, get logger, and finally, and the main difference is the subscriber node from attribute self, which is from the initialization, create a subscription from the same data type, from the same topic, and each time would be receive a message. It will call the callback function. In the callback function, it will print the message and the same main function. And finally, after creating the listener and the typer, we have to set up the file. In the entry point, we just will write, for example, talking equal, where we will find it, a listener underscore talker, this file, and inside this file we will find listener. We will create talker, and the entry point will be the main function, and the same for the listener, listening equal the same file, but this time different file.by, which is listener. And the entry point would be the main function. And finally, save. I'm going to the main workspace, and then click on build. Packages select for the selecting the package. And the name of the package, listener talker. Then click on build. Yeah, this is working. Then source install, setup.bash to reset up, and then run ROS2, run the package listener talker. I misspelled listener talker, and the entry point for talking. So the talking is speaking now, and we will create another source install, setup.bash, and ROS2, run listener and listening. So each time the listener working, it send hi, I'm talker. Thank you.